Something broke the boss, I flipped the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation made me live the dream.
If you get stuck with rejected freight, what happens next? And I think this happens a lot more than people actually think.
Yeah, and a lot of times the people that should actually get very involved should be the broker, the company that you're running for.
Yeah.
And I guess the shipper and receiver, everyone. The receiver probably has the least to do with that because we're just rejecting the freight.
Yeah, and they're pretty much just hands off. They're like, look, bro, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just not taking that.
And unfortunately, there is going to be no perfect scenario how to handle it because everything is going to be very, very dependent on a lot of situations, such as what freight is it, who is the broker, who is the shipper, what's the value of the cargo, what insurance company you have, where that is happening, where is your home location, is there a fleet or you're solo one-man army company. A lot of those things are going to come in the equation because even here at Voyager, we've been stuck with rejected freight multiple times, and every time was very different.
Yeah, and it's not always, guys I think naturally tend to think that it's going to be about, damaged product or something like that. But no, I mean, we've been in certain situations that they loaded the wrong product. It's just not the correct one going to that receiver. And so the receiver's just like, this ain't mine. I didn't order this. Rejected. And actually, sometimes it happens to be for a different distribution center. Luckily, it's not too far away, a revised Raycon, nothing you can't work your way out of. But sometimes it's just that, as just, that receiver can be incoherent where they're just like, oh man, I'm not taking it off this truck, and boom, close the door on you. So,
yeah, and I've seen situations where the receiver would say, we gonna have no room for it until next week. Tough luck. Call your dispatcher. Call anybody you want to call.
Just not me.
Just not me. I'm not going to take it until next week, and so on. So it can be a lot of different reasons for not taking the load. So I would say at the beginning, the most important part is, why are we not taking the load? Is there a damage? Do we just have like some sort of warehouse space issues, or what the case is? It can be many different things. So, for example, if that's damage right away, your insurance company probably should get involved. That's going to be the easiest solution because at the end of the day, your insurance company is going to pick up that bill in the worst case scenario.
Right.
It could be other challenges such as let's say we just don't want to take it, or based on your rate confirmation, the delivery is today at 9 a.m. You arrive there, and the receiver says, nothing like that is in my system. We're not going to be able to take it until next week. We dealt with quite a few of those situations. Again, in that scenario, it really depends on your specific scenario.
Right.
Let's say, do you have access to other trailers? Where is your home base? It can go a very, very nice way, or it can go a very ugly way. Very nice way being, your home base is in the same zip code, or let's say 50 miles away.
Yeah, because then
and you have access to other trailers, then you just take it to your facility. You milk the broker to pay for all the downtime and everything else. You grab another trailer and you keep on running, making money, while the cargo is sitting on that other trailer is also making you money.
Because it's paying storage.
And everything else. And then all your dispatcher has to do is just like to make sure that, we do a good fight with a broker. So none of that is for free.
Yeah, I guess this is one of the most important times that you should keep your communication open with your dispatcher, and probably safety team, I would say, is going to maybe potentially get involved. But this is the time to keep your cool, because I can see how guys get they get agitated. It's a level of chaos, and they just want out of the situation. But raising your voice at that point isn't going to solve your problem. This is, you got to stay calm.
That's probably very important because, again, there is going to be a lot of problem solving in that scenario, and you don't want to be perceived as incoherent person.
Knowing your boots on the ground. So if any pictures or any kind of information that they need from you, it's so critical to how to fix the problem and the solution.
Yes. So at the end of the day, hopefully you're not the one solving this problem. Hopefully you got, experienced dispatchers behind you and experienced, brokers behind you. We had the situations, all kinds of situations throughout the whole fleet and all these years in business. We had, for example, one pretty nasty one when the trailer got into the accident. The four-wheeler kind of ran into the trailer, and it got damaged enough to where it it no longer was able to continue the trip.
Okay.
The broker freaked out. We added even more problems to the existing problem. So we pretty much wanted us to still deliver the load. We had another truck in the area. The broker asked us to transload the load into another trailer. And then obviously the load arrived to the receiver without a seal, or with a different seal than was there. And because it was a food product, it went to Pepsi. I think some sort of syrup or something.
Yeah.
It got rejected because, again, food product regulations and everything else. And then the broker just went missing, stopped. The receiver is now rejecting the load. We're reaching out to the broker. The broker is not answering the phone calls. And we just went silent. And so we brought this load here into our parking. Mm-hmm. Pretty much, we got the insurance involved. We wrote the demand letters to the broker, to the shipper, to the receiver, to kind of hey, we got your product. Somebody needs this product, right? The broker made a few mistakes. Our team made a few mistakes. By the time I got involved, it was already too late because all the mistakes that was made was already made. But at the end of the day, took us about, multiple legal letters back and forth. Nobody wanted this load.
Right.
So we ended up auctioning that load out to cover the storage fees. And, that load was sitting in our trailer for probably 6 months or so.
Man, that's a...
and nobody wanted this load. Nobody, everybody just disappeared. We stopped communicating. And then the load got auctioned. So I guess we whoever bought it shipped it to Mexico or whatnot, and then another year goes by or so, and all of a sudden some party wants their load back. But because again we got the insurance lawyers involved, everything was done by the book. So pretty much all the communication was there. So we pretty much we informed them about everything that was happening along the way. We got informed about everything that we are about to do. And because we were ignoring it, we just said, hey, look, the load was there for you. You didn't want it. So now, tough luck. We sold it to cover our expenses. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And because everything was done by the book, we pretty much just walked away with nothing. So that was one of the craziest scenarios that I dealt with.
Yeah.
Obviously, I dealt with situations to where the driver is delivering a load and the appointment is not being set up properly. So it got moved to the next day. Then the next day we show up. It got moved to another day. We show up again. It got moved to another day. Pretty much... In that situation, again, everybody took a hit. I mean, everybody, meaning us and the driver mostly. There was some major miscommunication and the system errors between the broker, shipper, and receiver.
Right.
So the amount of money that we were able to get in that specific scenario was not enough to cover all, driver's week of just sitting on that load. If that was anywhere closer to home or to our terminal, we would solve that problem exactly the same way. We would bring it here. We would hand him another trailer. He would be on his merry way to keep on making money. And then that money that we would get, for storage would be enough to cover all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But in that specific situation, I think the load was delivering in Kansas City in those underground facility. I guess it's some sort of military thing. Yeah. And we had no other option but just sit there. So the driver took a hit. We took a hit financially. At the end of the day, it was less than ideal situation, but fortunately, we are not very common. If your dispatcher knows what they're doing, if you work with reputable people, and I would say most important part is to know what you're doing. Because, for example, when we were transloading that load in St. Louis, the previous story with Pepsi.
Right.
If I got involved a little bit sooner, we would never transload this load without some additional details. in writing.
Right, because that would have been the whole seal.
Yes.
That would have been right away.
And that would make that situation a little bit easier. Maybe would not even end it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would probably be handled very professionally. We probably would have delivered that load with a different seal, and we would accept it because of communication.
Right.
But because our team took broker's word that, just transload it.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that without any additional, precautions. It ended up being a shit show, but at the end of the day, it ended up still be all right. So in many situations, it's hit or miss. If the situation is very, very convenient for you, you can actually come on top by actually making more money and doing a lot less work. But unfortunately, that's not the case in most cases. In most cases, you're going to be taking a shorter end of a stick or at least a reasonable end of a stick.
And then that's the thing. Either way you slice that, you definitely need savvy individuals on your team to help you get out of situations like that, because they're struggling. I mean,
I would say if that makes you feel better, there is no bulletproof solution to it, because everything is very situational. It really depends. I know everybody hates that lawyer answer. It depends. But in reality, it really depends. It depends on many, many things, and it's pretty much who you work with will determine the outcome. Because if the team behind you is highly experienced and we know what they're doing, are you gonna come on top every time? No, hell no.
No. Yeah.
But are you gonna minimize the damage? Absolutely, every single time. And again, hopefully that's gonna make you feel better. But welcome to entrepreneurship. Welcome to being a business owner. It comes with good and bad.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if you run your business the proper way, there is going to be more good than bad. But it's not one without the other. It's always going to be a situations when you're going to have to take a loss and carry on and keep your head high.
So here you go. So be cautious. You have to protect yourself out there, guys. If you find yourself in this situation, probably way too often, you're in the wrong place. Telephone number is 863-342-5171. Got plenty of opportunity for the right owner-operator.
And never do anything without, before you move, communicate. And communicate, or at least make sure that your dispatcher is communicating in writing, via email or whatnot, because
it will matter.
She said, is going to be, it may make you feel good at the moment, but it's not going to help you in the long run once it's going to get really complicated. So getting stuff in writing is always the best way to do things, and asking uncomfortable questions, because one of the biggest problems that I've seen people running into when we dealing with those situations, wishful thinking. You think that if the customer said, "Oh, we're gonna pay for it, don't worry about it," but if you're not asking how much, if you're not asking how long, if you're not addressing any other problems, a week later, okay, we're gonna drop you $250. How is that gonna make you happy?
It's not, man. It's so much damage behind that.
Yes. So the experienced people, we always gonna ask uncomfortable questions first. We don't have to be ugly. We don't have to be nasty. There is no need to get into a fight over something like this. But asking uncomfortable questions and addressing those problems before we get more complicated, I think your best bet. And at least in my experience, keep your head cool. Don't let the emotions to run your business, and communicate before you move anything. And again, ask uncomfortable questions, and carry on. And at the end of the day, there is gonna be, if you're in tracking for a long time, you will come across some of those issues, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The good thing is most of the people in this industry are still professionals, so for the most part, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, there you go. So stay the course, my people. And once again, it is 863-342-5171.
All right, guys. Take care.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.